Hey guys, welcome back to the Nubian Prince page, aka Marlon. And there's a lot that need to be said from pretty much every one of us as Black people, whether it be men, women, child, you name it. There's so much unspoken pain, so much unspoken anguish, and we don't know where to start sometimes because this roller coaster is going on for so long that even if you do research, it take you back way back in time where even most of you who are listening to this video, your parents, grandparents, parents, and even grandparents wasn't even around. That's how far back our problem and our struggle go back. So it's not a struggle that only lasts for maybe your 20 years, your 30 years, your 40 years, or for those who are on Instagram who are in the 50s. This problem that we face as Black people, as Black men, is way beyond even your own comprehension. So today is a special day because they said, okay, we don't need to post anything, just post a Black image or just a Black whatever that is, and that should represent us in a certain aspect. But one of the things that I was speaking to two of my childhood friends, which is GT and also Junior. Today I spent many hours with GT today on the phone, and we was going back and forth with our history, not just from America's standpoint, but also from the Caribbean, because we're Caribbean born as well. And even on the islands in the Caribbean, there's a lot of prejudice, racism, and everything that we still have to deal with on a day-to-day basis. So it's not something which is us predominantly in the States. It's also here in Europe. It's also here in London. In London, there's over I'll make a note down, but 1.8 million Black people that lives in England. But from that 1.8 million Black people of us, in London, there's over 1.1 million of us that are in London. So that's a big community of us. And Black men back in the early 2000s, way before that, because even when you listen to like people who familiar themselves with this thing like the carnival, the carnival in Notting Hill. Notting Hill Carnival came out of the same struggle of what was happening in the Brixton riots. And also, if you go back a little bit as well, the riot that took place in Tottenham, that's in North London. So those situations, those struggles, bear, yes, we have the result of the carnival that is celebrating, the different communities at a time where just not Africans that came from the African continent, but also African like us who came from the island. So we all fight together over the oppression of what was happening in the different fascist group that was here in the UK, or you said London as well. So we are not just in a place where it is happening only to men in America, but wherever Black men, Black women, Black people in general set up shop, there's going to be a problem. So it's, like I say, it's a continuous thing that we be going through. So it's not nothing new, but what happens, it act as if, or we maybe act as if everything was over, and because we see a glimmer of hope from in the early part of 2000, then we think collectively that everything was okay. But what I want to touch on mainly today, it's not so much what's going on out there. I would touch on that maybe in another video, but I would like to touch on the idea of bloggers, because I'm a blogger. My wife herself is a blogger. She's French, Italian as well. And also myself, I do more YouTube marketing than anything else, but I do a bit of Instagramming as well. But the key thing here is that we want other race, preferably, like I said, white, to go out there and, campaign, march, have this say, have this speech. And that's fine with me. Within 9 days, I'll be 40 years on this earth. So I see a lot of things in my time. Let's be honest. I have two girls, one going to be 11 this year, one is 7 at the moment. And I'm just asking myself continually, what type of life they're going to see in their teenage or their adulthood like myself. Like I said, I'll be 40 in a heartbeat. But they themselves is young kids, man. I see young kids like being abused by the system, by police officers. And I would consider or think that these officers do have like a family, kids, those age, young age. But the way I see they even abuse those kids, maybe the kids directly or the kids with their family or the parents or the dad right there in the presence. And they don't think about the trauma that these kids will be having to deal with maybe when they reach teenagehood and stuff like that. They don't think about none of that because, like I said, first and foremost, they don't consider us as humans. So you don't think that these cops would go home and think like, oh my God, today what I did today was a bit inhumane. And even the sad thing as well, cops do walk in groups and work in pairs. So how would you have like 2, 3, 4 cops in a group, and then you see one of your own fellow men is acting or how your fellow woman acting out of character, and then you stand there, sit there and says to yourself as if that's okay, and you don't talk to him, you don't react, you don't do nothing, you just stand there as if you're in agreement. And that's what make cop look bad, because if I'm working with someone, if I'm at work now and something happened and my work colleague was, like I said, disrespectful to someone, or even maybe a customer, or even maybe to another colleague, I think it's my right to get involved and say, hey, this behavior is not condoned by the company, nor so do we condone by us as work colleagues, you know what I mean? So I would say something, you know what I mean? I wouldn't sit there act as if it's normal, you know? So you think these cops are put there, placed there to protect and uphold laws, but they're there to protect who and uphold what? When it comes to us black people, what are they protecting for us? They're beating us, killing us, they're abusing us right in broad daylight in cameras. Back maybe in the 1800s, 1600, 1500, 1400, there was no camera to see us, how we was being ill-treated. There's no camera, let's be honest. But now even in camera, now are people recording, videoing him. They act as if it's normal. So think back them time when there was nothing like cameras or anything. It was capturing image or footage. What was happening to us? So what I want to address in this one, like I said, is bloggers. We have black bloggers here on YouTube and Instagram, but we talk about Instagram for now. So Instagram is, like I said, loaded with many different bloggers of different niche. So you whether you have like sports, fitness, fashion, or travel, you have all bloggers in these different niches here on Instagram. So collectively, we all are online pretty much every day. So Floyd, like I said, got murdered for a thing from the 25th of May. So you're talking about over, like I said, a couple weeks now coming up. So, and seldomly I look and you see not much activities maybe coming from the men, because if one of us is being killed, like I said, several of us being killed, and it's act as if it's normal. But this one becomes like I said, like a pandemic as size of, like I said, COVID at the moment. So the whole world is seeing what's happening, because the whole of America at the moment seems to be in fire based on the protests. And we see black and white and everyone is out there campaigning in a positive way. For those who are looting, like I said, I'm not supporting looting, but for the positive sense of standing up for, you know, for what is rightfully ours, and those who are marching and protesting in that manner, I thank you very much for, you know, let your voice be heard and you lend that support that we truly need in this time. But when it comes to black bloggers, and even anyone, male, female, doesn't matter, but mainly for male, most of these male act as if their platform is not user-friendly. We tend to look back to people like the Hollywood stars, such as the Jay-Z, the Beyoncés, and all those people to use their platform to voice their say and their opinions and stuff like that. And then if they don't do it at a certain time or at all, then we criticize these people. But we all do have a platform. I see guys have maybe 10, 20, 15, 30, 40, up into the 100,000 of followers, right? And here on Instagram. And most of these black guys, like I said, remain silent. So my question is, if blacks are not cherry picked in America to get killed, it could be just a random act. So that could be you, it could be me, it could be anyone next, you know what I mean? So if you're using this Instagram platform to showcase your blackness when it feels more appropriate to you to do it, and then when we need to hear your voice, you're being silent, then where should we place you? Because we're happy when we see whites and everyone come out and lend their support, but then we take the affirmative action by stepping back. And so, well, then it's your time to go and march and blah, blah, blah. But what about our contribution to what's happening now? The whole world is looking. the whole world is noticing like the injustice is really at the level where it cannot be tolerated anymore. But yet still black men here on Instagram go quiet, like non-existent, carrying posting, carrying ignoring what's happening as if they are protected by some code. So my question is, are they protecting themselves from the so-called brand deals that they may be getting from so-called brands which are maybe, I don't know, white or any other ethnic background? What are they protecting? What are they trying to like act as if they say something, it come against them? I mean, I can name a list of all of my heroes from Bob Marley, go back to Michael Jackson. You name the whole long list of them. Marcus Mosiah Garvey, back again from Jamaica. All these people put everything on the line for our people. And if you just have a few thousand followers and you don't want to risk like putting your voice or your say or your 2 cents to the problem which we are facing, like I said, I'm going to be 40 in a couple of days from now. And if you're so scared to just say something, to voice your own opinion, then where do we rank you in the scheme of this? Because if you remain silent and I see everybody else is out there lending their voice and doing something itself, all I see some of the bloggers do here on Instagram is to repost what somebody else already said. And they think that's it because somebody have wrote something down. So let's repost it and that's my job done. So therefore, if maybe a brand was to come to them and say, hey, how comes you have said this controversial issue about this? You can say clearly, that's what just repost. It's not me, it's not my words, it's not my thoughts, it's not nothing to do with me. So we can quickly delete that. And sometimes they cleverly want to use their story. The thing about stories on Instagram, that just lasts for only 24 hours. But if you have a permanent post on your page, so you want to say that Black Lives Matter situation going to mess up your beautiful feed that you have going. So that's where my problem is at the moment. How we take silence and our power for granted, that we're supposed to use our platform and we're waiting for some elusiveness from all of these celebrities, wherever they are, to come and save the day. And what do we do with our own platform? So if you're following these people, you see no activities that last for over a couple of weeks or a couple of days, since the Floyd situation, then I would just unfollow, because I sort of unfollow a lot of different bloggers, black bloggers alike already, because you cannot stand for, if you're not going to stand for nothing, then what am I supporting you for? What am I following you for? What am I commenting on your post for? It makes no sense. So I'll just go ahead and just unfollow these people, because they're not helping to make any difference. What they're only protecting is their own image and their own brand. And this is not the time to protect those stuff, because we literally are at the tipping end of a problem, just as big as the COVID crisis that we still dealing with. And people out there at the moment putting their life at risk with COVID crisis still in the middle of the United States, and they're risking everything just to have a say for us, helping us campaigning for what we think we deserve, which is justice at the moment. And you guys have your beautiful platform where you don't want to say nothing. So like I said, check out those blog followers page that you're following, whether it be woman or man, whatever that is. It could be a cat or a dog. Just unfollow if you see nothing coming from those pages. Some are just putting up that black blank page as if it's important. That's nothing itself. Anyone can put up that. And because what? You said nothing, you just put the Black Lives Matter and that's it. And then you think your job is over. No, we have to hold all of us accountable before we can point fingers to any other race out there. We have to point it. We have to make sure we do our own homework at the moment. So this is just my 2 cents and bloggers here on Instagram when it comes to us at the moment. So drop me a comment below and tell me how you feel. And like I said, I will catch up with the same topic and the bigger issue, which is around the whole Black Lives situation at the moment. So thank you very much for listening. And like I said, stay vigilant, and also thank everyone who are lending their own platform itself and lending their voice, and also doing what they can to make society see that this cannot continue the way it's continuing, because our offspring, their offspring coming, what do we left as a future for them? Just as how I feel at the moment. So thank you very much, and for always, peace.